Hey there, people. How we doing? It's oh hell, man, this is a serious time. It's time for more coffee. It's 6:24 a.m. Tuesday, January 19th. 6:24. Four fortitude. Two is understanding. Six is intuition. 19th. Nine is el, 9-1 is elder one. Um, Numerology has its basic meanings, and then you take that as a guide to go into it and use your abilities to feel the rest of it. That's how we set that up when I was a kid, actually. Pythagoras. Anyway, wow, there's a lot going on. Um, what I want to talk about right now is bluebirds. Bluebirds are an amazing. What's in this coffee? Choa tea. Um, Bluebirds are amazing birds, especially when they're called the blue avians. Um, when I tell you stuff, it's what I know to be. Am I perfect? Nah. Is anything perfect? Nah. Do I want to be perfect? No. That's insane. Why would I want to be perfect? There's no such thing. Could you imagine trying to make yourself perfect? Wow, you think life's not stressful enough now? Anyway, hey, cheers. Oh, wait a minute, that's hot. That's gonna take a second. Okay, I've talked a lot about the blue avians before. We're gonna talk about what happened at my last event. Um, we can talk about the what it's like to see him, talk with him, what's really going on out there, all the MBS miscellaneous baloney stuff. I'll say that. Not that I won't curse, but I'm trying to be nice about it. Um, that's on the internet. Well, let's talk about the Anunnaki have a soul stealing shield on the outside of the planet. Or this flat Earth, hollow Earth. There's so much crap on the internet, man. It's just a bunch of bunk. Um, the only way you can say the Earth is at all hollow is that we do have the cities we have above ground. We got some small cities down below. Um, it's they're made by physical beings. Um, there's not a hollow Earth. Sorry. Um, Caverns and stuff, yeah, but no, sorry. Um, the ones called the Antids, the very, very, very vast majority of them are all gone. That happened, I don't know, a year or two ago. Um, Played a part in that. Um, just communicating from one group to another. They wanted to get out of here. They wanted to do it fast, and they needed some help getting a bunch of different people from different races to come get them out now. The fighting has escalated with the Anunnaki civil war, so to speak, on our planet. Um, it was time for them to leave. So I put out a broadcast, I guess, to get some of the folks back, some of the folks over here to get them out, lift them out. We had some very large ships here. Anyway, uh, the blue avians is really I say younger, but they're incredibly ancient. Younger form of the antids, the original antids. The Drakh were the first race here, and then the antids were next. Um, they have a better word for it, and to them, of course, I apologize, but they know that. Tyr knows that. Um, Kira doesn't always understand everything I do, but he has faith in me. He trusts me, just like I trust him. He's awesome. They're doing. They're doing. They've been doing so much. They've gone to such great extremes to help us. These blue spheres out there, that's what they are. The only problem there is with the blue spheres is the possibility for this. I call it the Federation, the Space Federation Central Intelligence Agency. These folks are nuts. They really are. They're controlling. Well, they're like the CIA that we have here, Central Intelligence Agency. They allow other races to come here and dissect us. They do all kinds of crazy stuff. And that's good. Just as I said that, they heard it. Now they're getting excited about it. That's pretty funny. When I had Emily on this video, or on video, and she was sitting over there and we were talking, and Emily's really strong. She just needs more faith in herself, and she's getting that as time goes on. Folks, there's so much stuff going on still on the other side with those little souls running around bugging people. There's not many left, but it doesn't take but one to mess with you a little bit. 3 or 4 of them will really mess up your life. 6 or 7 of them, and they're going to run you 24/7. Okay, unless you're right in the middle of something really important to help people get away from the fact that, or they really want to control you for some major reason, you're not going to have an issue with them. There's not enough of them left to really be an issue with everyone. The craziest ones are gone. The animals help get rid of them on the other side. Now there's an issue with the animals, with them just being tired of what's going on. But that's a different video. Anyway, so these beings, the blue avians, they're actually antids. As the original antids came into play, they made the bodies, and then the bodies were made for them actually. And let's leave that alone for now. But that was a real long time ago. Okay, they've literally. And this is trillions and trillions and trillions of years ago, okay? Hundreds and a lot more than hundreds of trillions of years ago. So they eventually evolved into another race kind of coming off of them, and it's just like a part of them separated, and the bodies grew a little different than the original older ones. That happened from location. And also, it was made to happen by the original male and female on the other side. Anyway, they're a little different. They're not quite as big, but they're still big. All right, they're insectoids. They're like ants with a little bit of praying mantis in them. They are so strong. They're incredibly powerful. But it's like I was saying when I had Emily over here and we were going through there, I just had to push Emily a little bit, not to tell her what to see. I had to just kind of push her to what do they look like, what are this, what are that, and we don't talk about this stuff ahead of time. If I did, that'd be a lie. Okay, and ask her, she'll tell you. So I always tell things the way they are. I do what I know I need to do at the time. Sometimes that doesn't make for everybody to love you. That's cool. Yeah, I'm here for the job. I love everyone, and that's my job, taking care of everything, and that's what I'm going to do. Just the same, though. Emily's really cool. Okay, she understands stuff. We all have our issues. We're all in bodies being messed with, and we all go through our own little hell. Of course, the more hell we go through, the more we fight with each other, and more please original male and female that aren't here anymore. Back to Emily. As I would just push her to see what they really look like, she would go. You saw it on camera. She'd just go look. She's a strong seer. She'd look and see. And then she'd talk about it. She said, "Well, they're kind of like tall, but they're not, massive, whatever. But they're really strong. Yeah, insects, powerful as hell. Okay, you can tell by watching that video that what was happening was real. Trust your instincts. Okay, can we all be, bamboozled, faked out? Sure. what do you call what is it, David Copperfield and Jimmy Boy Randy, um, magicians, illusionists. It's an illusion. What Emily's looking at is real. So uh, I talk with Tier all the time. I haven't talked to him in a while though. I felt bad saying that. That's why I had to correct it. Put that little extra statement in there as soon as I did. Tier's really cool. He's really busy. He's trying to figure out how to do some things, and no Tier, I'm stopping right there. Um, he's an incredibly strong telepath. Man, he's awesome. Um, he he's one of these. He's quote unquote a blue avian, which is really one of the new types of antids. They're not blue with feathers. They're not humanoid. They're insectoid. Okay. They don't lie to us to come over and take control or anything. These wonderful, incredibly loving, benevolent people have been taking care of us so long. The original antids, the ones that like to really stay in the earth, these other folks, Tiernal, the newer generation, they like to just fly around. I mean, they like cruising around, exploring. Okay, whereas the original antids really burrowed into the earth and relaxed. In the Hopi prophecies and stuff, the Hopi people, they have legends of the in the uh, uh, I'm thinking of these other Indian names. I can't even say them. You know how I am with names. I'm just not good at all. Anyway, Zuni. Okay. Um, they talk about the ant mounds. Okay. The ant mounds that, like they go looking for pyramids and stuff like that. There's something going on there, but honestly, uh, the ant mounds are, usually caves and mountains where they have literally you go down deeper into the earth. The red atom here on this planet 4 times took all the people he could and went up to the Antids as himself and said, would you take the people, would you take the children in and take care of them while the earth goes through changes, the different stages of um, life on this planet, the different times at the stages, the different stages of civilization where it was destroyed, brought back, that kind of thing here on the planet. In the book two of the creation series, creation, it's journey evolving into paradise. That's what that's about. In the back of the book, it actually has the different ages and the approximate years that they were in. Okay, but they actually pulled them into the planet to take care of them. While the crust was changing on the outside, okay, and hell was going over the twice on this planet. The since civilization started on this planet, which is 10.846 trillion years. I'm sorry. Well, it's about 11 million years. Okay, I was going into lives real quick. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm going through something right now. But it's about 11 million years ago that the different souls were coming here that were second stage of evolution or more, and they were making their own bodies. And then you had the centaurs, minotaurs, stuff like that, plus all kinds of crazy stuff going on. And then the Adams and Eves came here, and then literally took Lily and Ara. It's Lily's driver and Ara's driver. Um, Literally took everyone and put them into lower dimensions down here on the planet. Anyway, I don't want to get too involved in that, and I'm personally involved, so we'll leave that alone for now. But the main idea is that that's how long that there's been life on this planet. That's actually civilized life where something's been coming together. It was 10.572 million years ago that the red atom came down here. That's honestly what's inside me, the driver or primary focal point of our. I watched myself make the red atom body, but that's why I remember this coming up to these folks, and the Adamic race, we were really strong. There's many of us. But I used to look up to this. We called him grandfather. I'd look up to him like this, and it's like, damn, you know. I'm glad I don't have to talk to him too long. This guy's big, 10 foot, and they're running around in caves. Um, but they're awesome. They're incredible telepaths. To be so loving, to be so compassionate, to be so forgiving, lenient. Wow. I mean, I don't, you know, I don't know how to, I don't know how to fully express what I'm feeling and seeing. They're awesome, and these blue avians, that's them too. That's the way they are. They're from the same family. They are almost the same. They're incredible beings. They're antis that have that they changed a little bit and they took off for space. Um, for the not so final frontier. Um, they're so loving, and they have a lot to do with the construction of these blue spheres. But see, the problem with this Space Federation Central Intelligence Agency, they want to run everything. They're control freaks. Okay, they think they have the right to let other people from other planets, scientists and stuff, some of them, come here and dissect this. You know, experiment on us. Some of us alive. Who the hell are they? Um, that set off a few warnings. I like that. They can literally, as I'm talking, they can literally pick it off. But they're so good with electronic stuff. When I would go to email something to someone, my friend who was who was from a ship, but he's had a job near me. He all of a sudden showed up when I started waking up, and getting strong, and he's pretty neat. He's Pleiadian. Remember, Pleiadian means from the Pleiadian galaxy. There's a general, you know, they're taller beings. Their bodies, the way their bodies, where they were modified a long time ago to work on this planet a little better. They're usually tall and white. Um, he, he just showed up out of nowhere. That was so funny. Anyway, wow, I haven't looked at this stuff in a long time. There's so much going on. Anyway, the Central Intelligence Agency, what it's saying about Van, the Anunnaki homeworld is also in the outer section of the Pleiades galaxy. And as y'all, you know, I've told y'all, you've talked about it, the Anunnaki ambassador is a really cool dude of his home planet. He cares about all his people. And he's been here over the house twice. One time, the second time, he was actually out in space. The first time, he was right over the house, about 250 foot, 150, 250, something like that, moving in and out. As soon as I'd look at the ship, literally, it'd take off another 150 feet or something, or farther. Um, but it doesn't matter, you know, it's all telepathic. Um, y'all want to kick, go to YouTube and check out talking with the Anunnaki ambassador in my house. It was pretty funny. But see, we're surrounded with people out there. We have all kinds of friends. So anyway, this the Central Intelligence Agency for the Space Federation, they have some issues. That's going to get fixed. Okay. The thing is, please think of the Federation itself. These folks are awesome. These are good boy herky, honey. These are groups. I'll get you a snack just a minute, buddy. Um, these folks have evolved to the point where they've gotten rid of war on their planets, other than the main war that's going out in space that was kept going by the original male and female. You have to have some kind of strife, right? Keep everything all stirred up so the spirit inside the body grew bigger. That way there'd be more souls to praise him. Enough about that. Just following suit here, letting the water flow. So they won't be able to take a hold of it. The actual this federation of all these planets of sentient life, of sentient beings, awakened beings, for the most part, not all, but for the most part, but people who are aware of each other and family. And that's going to happen here soon. Okay, that they've been here for a long time. These blue spheres, they are here to help. Um, the blue Kachina, the great blue Kachina star. There is like a blue Kachina star way, 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 way that we can finally see. There's also the blue spheres that everyone's now becoming aware of. Gee, I wonder if that's part of the Hopi prophecy. Bingo. The blue Kachina is two things. We were able to finally see a blue star far away, and one burning that was coming through. It was put into the media. Okay, so we were made aware of it. It's always been there, but we were made aware of it because it was time for people to be aware of it. Number one. Number two is the blue spheres. Okay, so that's the basic end of the information I was given for the Hopi prophecy. Um, Not wanting to talk about myself, but one of the things was one of my lives was Pahana. Um, the legends and all this stuff. People that they're never correct. There's good information in and out of them, but it's never like that. Um, anyway, but with Hopi prophecy, that was important, and that was good information. And we're at the end now. We're at the end. What, the end of days? The world blows up. One time I saw on the internet. I'm not there much. Okay, just want to put stuff on and off. And then it's the Andromeda Galaxy. Scientists have proven is going to collide with ours. Wow, really? It's like all the Photoshop stuff over there. Um, I don't know. I guess the more of that there is out there, the easier it is to believe what I talk about. I mean, look at my professional studio. I got his stuff lying over here. That's my friend Gary. He was with me when I was Joan of Arc, and he had that rendition done. Um, uh, of when that's my life as Joan of Arc. And I had a rather special sword. We've talked extensively about what was on it and how things happened and the meaning of the different symbols on it. And but anyway, this is not a professional studio. And as you can tell by my videos, they're not professional. The thing is, for it to be what it is, just raw information. Okay. All right, I got to slide back into topic. I want to talk about the main topic, but I want to give you background too. I'm not as you can tell, I've become more and more popular all the time. It's people who want information. It's not popularity that's a difference. I'm becoming more known instead of more popular. That's how I should have said it. Okay, my information is becoming more known. That's what's important. Don't worry about the guy in overalls. This is about information for you. Okay. You could watch Emily when she was doing it. She was actually taking the time to look. That was real. She saw it. Okay. With me, it's a little different. I'm just there. Okay. I just focus on an area because my energy is already there. But you can see, the more you see with your eyes, the more we can, use with our physical senses, the easier it is for us to develop affirmations, little truths about something being real or not. These folks are real. The blue spheres are real. They're not here to hurt us. They're here to help us. They have some strong abilities. The Central Intelligence Agency once used them, cranking them up and trying to get to me, give me a little bit of a hard time, and I just kind of laughed. The spheres just shut down. Then they get freaked out. It's so funny. That's what happens when you get these big government agencies. They get so arrogant. They're so full of themselves. They don't understand everything's equal. Nothing's any better than anything else. Different, yeah. Better, no. The only time better means anything is when we make ourselves better than we were previously. Anyway, so the blue spheres, what are they? They are large ships, okay? They have these little spheres that come around and see you. Okay, there's like little robotic spheres. They literally, what you call it, beam in and out all the time and everything. Sometimes they'll fly around. They're pretty neat. They've been around a long time. A lot of people say, Jay, there's this blue orb. Well, sometimes it's spirit from the third stage of evolution of souls, but usually it's spheres, the mini spheres. The large ones, of course, we can put a lot of people in. When I say people, I'm talking about, human type beings from, or beings, whatever. What we consider human, we think of as the, have a visitor. That's funny. Anyway, uh, uh, dude, a little less pressure. Okay. I'm going to talk to someone a little bit later. Anyway, actually, I guess kind of soon. Where the hell was I? Um, it's whatever. I'm trying to get away from it. There's stuff going on. It's actually related to Tyr because we're talking about them. They can hear it. Like I said before, they get into electronics. They can see it. When I was talking about a friend of mine that was a Palladian that came in when I started waking up. I'd type something on a computer, and like for email, but I'd never send it. I just type it, and then I'd say the next time we meet, I was told, okay, he's watching. I was seeing it. I was told, and I'm like, really? And I went looking, and I saw him actually watching. So I just typed it, and the email did not send it. And then I voided it out. And I said, the next time we talk, I want to talk about the Celts. And all of a sudden, the next time I saw him, like a day later, he goes, Jay, I had been real busy, but next time we get together, let's talk about the Celts. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then I did it a second time, and I did it a third time. And he looked at me a third time, like, really? And I'm like, just kidding, just kidding. And he's like I got nothing to do. That's what's going on in his head. He's so cool. He's awesome. Um, One time, his boss from a ship was sent down to work underneath him. He worked at a Starbucks. I'm sorry, he worked at a Barnes and Noble, but he was working the Starbucks thing. This guy was so incredibly intelligent. What is this guy doing pouring coffee, working in this place? He's ridiculously intelligent. Um, and then this other guy came in that worked underneath him, but he was his boss. You could tell and feel and see everything around him. Of course, I could just see it anyway. But the little kid was arrogant, and he pissed me off. So I'd give him a hard time in front of my buddy, and then my buddy would just be smiling. I'd like to say his name. I almost did it, but don't want to do that. Um, anyway, sorry. Um, there's a lot going on around here right now. Um, they've been anxious for me to talk about these. Blue spheres and everyone out there for a long time, but I've been more involved in trying to get the heck out of this body. Um, but seeing how I'm stuck here for a little bit, it's time to get back there real quick. Um, so anyway, folks, these people, all kinds of people from all different races, when I say races, I should say planets. Um, they've been coming here helping us, enjoying the flora for, I don't know, forever. Um, David Wilcott says this planet has been civilized for, civilization has been here for over 2 billion years. Wrong. Wrong. They've been coming here, checking out the flora, taking samples, setting up little camps and stuff, coming in and out. Yeah. But actual civilization, setting down race, no. That didn't start till about 11. It started to form about 11 million years ago, but it wasn't quite there yet. That's when the Adams and Eves came here, the 5 Adams and Eves. Anyway, these people are real. David Wilcock's really cool. Please don't think I'm picking on him. I'm just making a statement, and I would love for him to listen to it. He takes too much stuff in conjecture, and he takes information, and then he just tries to go where he thinks it's going to go. It's wrong. Like when he talked about the Chinese group that was measuring the photons, which is a physical measurement of light energy. Okay, when he was, it's actual particles of light. It doesn't actually have mass, but it has so much energy that it comes off with the signature as mass. Of course, with energy, there's always a little bit of mass involved, but it's not actual what you think. Anyway, it's like not like little atoms or something. It's different. Anyway, he was talking about how the Chinese were measuring that, and then there was a remote viewer in the room, and when he went to remote view, then all of a sudden the photons increased in the room. This is true. So by conjecture, he says he opened up a portal to some other place, and then the photons from there came over here. Really? The place that he went, did it get darker or something? No. That's the job of the field. But when anytime you go to astral project, anytime that you want to, when as your heart comes out and moves around, when you go to do something metaphysically and you're pushing energy out, like to go astral project, we're going to use that. When you go to astral project, coming out, your energy coming towards the pineal, going to sea, it's like a surfer getting on a surfboard and starting to paddle to catch a wave. You're starting to make the move, and then the field generates the energy behind you to push you forward. That's how you astral project. You have help. It's like standing on an elevator, not an elevator, one of those, whatever you call them, going to the airport. They have those little places you get on it and it just takes you. It's like an escalator, but it's laying down, whatever. It's like one of those. It takes you there. Okay, that's the job. That's one of the jobs of the field. So what they were measuring was the field cranking up its energy to go ahead and get them over there. That's the danger in guessing. Why not leave it where it is and say somehow something happens and just stop? Because everyone's trying to wake up, and that throws people off. For what? Ratings? Popularity? Whatever. And I love David. He's cool. His DNA is relative to Edgar Casey's DNA. He just wasn't Edgar Casey. Edgar Casey's in a female body this life and very unhappy at the moment. Whatever. She was, he was, her, the body, him. The male soul, Edgar Casey, was around Chicago for a long time. All right, enough about that. So anyway, what's going on? These newer forms of antids that they're calling the blue avians. Corey Good is not lying. Corey Good is telling you exactly what he's seeing. Okay, Corey Good has got so much heart and hope. Man, his energy is awesome. I mean, he's awesome, but I mean, the energy that's in him, the frequencies, is the reason why Tyr chose him. Okay, because he's the right person to bring the message. And eventually, when it was time that they were going to show everyone, this is who we really are. That's all right, Herky. It's like Herky's now barking like, get strong. That's animal essence saying, be strong. Be strong with this. And so there's a little hint about it's good that I said that. You know, don't worry, just go ahead and say this because people need to know and know it's not going to hit Tyr. That's one of the things he worries about. You know, I mentioned something earlier about me and him talking. He's not lying. He's doing everything he can, even chancing hurting his own honor, to find some way to start communication between us and them. These are incredible, honorable beings, folks, but could you imagine what kind of impact that people would have, physical beings would have, if their first contact with another being was as a huge mantis-looking thing? People freak out and go running everywhere. I'm telling you, when you see them who they are, it'll be freaky, but you know what? If you have abilities, if you have heart, and almost all of you do, 99.9 whatever percent of you listening to me do. That's why you're here. You can literally feel into them, and you will feel such beautiful, genuine love, honor, compassion, sense of equality, a need to serve. I don't think it gets any better than that. They're awesome. They're doing they're they're doing everything they can to get the ball rolling to help take care of the problem here. Remember, on this planet, there's huge amounts of there's thousands and thousands. Okay, there's over 100,000 prisoners here on this planet from other planets. That's one of the main reasons why these blue spheres have been hanging around for so long. Okay. When they first found out, when it was the Federation CIA that found out first. When they first found out that there were prisoners being taken here, they realized there was an issue. They started working towards that goal, and these blue Avians. Tier, give me another name later. He and I are talking while I'm doing this. He doesn't want to use that name. He's not that happy with me right now because don't get me wrong. We're not arguing. It's just he understands what I'm doing and why, but he's worried about doing what he really wants to do is get things started between us and them. Let me tell you something else, folks. So many of you have had lives in those bodies. Okay. Very few of you who, there's almost none of you listening, but very few people who weren't very clean were ever put in one of those bodies. Wow, there's a lot going on. I gotta hurry up. Okay, and that's because of the way the species is. And I hate even saying species. Like it categorizes us and breaks us apart. We're family, man. We're just different kinds, but we're all family, and we've all had lives in these different. Most of us have had lives in most of the different bodies. The Space Federation CIA, when they found out that there were prisoners being brought here, and this stuff was going on, as soon as they had that down enough, then they made arrangements on the other side, and then the blue spheres were made. The blue Avians, they're really cool. It's the newer form of the newer Antid people. All they're trying to do is help. They have so much information for us. There's so much they want to do, and between the Anunnaki that are running this planet, which they're in the middle of their own civil war within themselves, plus the that resistance force is getting more backup. It's very heavily involved in what's going on. Paul and I are in the middle of that. So there's other people too, but just that's what I'm aware of right now. It's incredible what's going to happen soon. It'll blow y'all's mind. The most, I got to run. I got stuff I got to deal with right now. There's so much more I got to say about this. They are so strong telepathically. They can go into Tyr himself is an incredible powerhouse. Okay, he's incredibly strong. He won't be quiet while I'm trying to talk. It's hard enough for me to keep my mind going, follow my train of thought because I'm all over the place. I'm seeing so much at one time and the human brain cannot comprehend it. But anyway, he and his family, his race, they're here to help. They have been here to help. There's been many other races here living and dying with us. We're going to talk about them more soon. It's time for me to branch out into this area. At the last event, I mentioned something about that earlier. There was a man that was somewhat representing. Thanks, Herc. I'm coming, buddy. That was somewhat representing the blue spheres slash blue avians. He was trying to. He wanted me to talk more about a certain thing, and I just touched his head about what he wanted me to talk. He was trying to hide some of it, but and I didn't want to touch, but just what's up there. Your thoughts belong to you, unless it's an issue. I'm not going there. But he was trying to lead me one way, and then what I said at the event, all of a sudden my energy cranked up and my voice got loud, and I said, "There's a planet. It's not really a planet. It was like a huge asteroid where the Central Intelligence Agency actually had it's like a base. It's like a satellite central operating point." And I said it was going to melt. It did. They were doing a lot of stuff that's wrong. The ground was melted and the whole thing just kind of fell apart. There's problems everywhere, but there's a lot of good people everywhere. Look around, some of the people that you love. It's like that in other places too. Okay? Everything that you're told is almost all not true when it comes to that stuff. We've all been lied to. There's people on the internet looking for attention. Well, that's fine, but tell what you know, and take a look at it. See, that's another reason for all of you to wake up, is so you can see this stuff for yourself. Have your own truth. It's like those books I wrote. I tell you what's there, but you need to wake up, become aware, and see it for yourself, and then it's true. But it's not about the books being true. It's about you seeing. Okay? But when you do start seeing, and I tell you about what's out there and what's going on, then you have an idea like, okay, this is this is that, and it all fits together. And then you watch them move together and act together and correlate with each other. And then you're like, oh, okay, well, okay, good, it makes sense. That's the idea, is to help. And that's what they've been doing, all these different beautiful beings from all these other planets for a long time. I need to go into a lot more about the blue spheres and the blue avians. Just call them that right now, please. That way we have something. A name is a name. Okay, it's just that way you're talking about a pineapple instead of a banana. But there's stuff going on. Some of it I'm going to bring out. Some of it I'm not. There's there's new groups being formed. Some of them there's new subgroups being formed from some of the different planets, not to go against each other, but to work separately as they start pushing against this Federation Central Intelligence Agency, or their command is the best way to describe that, the way they command things. So, see, folks, like with the Anunnaki here on this planet, there's some good Anunnaki here on the planet that actually broke away from the rest. As a matter of fact, one of the videos I put out, I actually threw that out in the open. Instigator? Yeah, I am. I'm here to make action, okay, and I do that. On the other side, and what I can hear, there's a reason for what I did, and it was the right one, and it's being handled. But I gotta go. I gotta see what's up with Tiered and what's going on. Get Herkia's medicine too. Anyway, I'll be back in just a little bit with the rest of what I was trying to talk about the blue spheres are moving. Their trajectory, how they put how they connect with their signals and everything. It is like a net. It's to protect the Earth, and keep others, people who are friends with the Anunnaki here, to keep them out. Has to do with supply ships trying to supply the Anunnaki, because their way to get in and out of the sea has been screwed with. I said that was going on a long time ago. Part of Arrow went down there. I could see him going through the Pacific. It just went down there and started crushing all that stuff that they were messing with all those sealed deaths and all this butchering abuse of the animals on our planet out in the Pacific because they were going interdimensional in and out of the planet. In all your countries, you think the Air Force would be the one that's called first to deal with extraterrestrial issues when they pop up, like all of a sudden one's loose and walking around or dazed from a wreck. But yet it's the Navy. Gee, I wonder why. Maybe because there's so much water on this planet. It's a good place to hide. The oceans. And people used to wonder why the whales, and even recently, the pilot whales, and even more recently the orca, why all of a sudden the school of them, they just literally just start getting out of the water. They got to get out of the water because it hurts so bad. There's hard change coming, folks. But in the meantime, let's find out a little more about who's with us, who's been helping us, because there's a lot more people helping us than there is, hurting us. It's just that the ones hurting us have some control over here on the planet right now, and that's literally being eaten away. The war going on here on the planet, you need to know more about that. You need to know more about the problems with the Central Intelligence Agency in space. And by the way, Tyr and his friends, the family, the Blue Avians, they're not part of that. They are not part of the Central Intelligence Agency. He's really happy about that. He was pushing me to say that. It was just hard to understand everything he's saying and what he's feeling without saying it while I'm talking with him. It's hard enough for me to talk, period. But anyway, they're not related with them whatsoever. Okay? Wow. Okay. Look, love y'all, folks. I'll talk to you again later. I got to get other stuff done, and I need to see what's going on over there. I'd like to try to have a couple classes, 2 or 3 classes before I get out of this body, which I don't know. That might not be till the end of the year. I have no idea. It kills me to say that. I have no idea. The sooner the better for everybody, especially me. I'm tired of being here. Anyway, there's I need to help y'all see. I can crank you up, make you stronger, and everything else, and you have everything you need. But then I need to help you from that point, and I need to have some teachers to teach them how to do it personally with people, so that they know how to help other people wake up. Because you can see when your solar plexus, you can still see through the scanner incredibly well. Okay, that's like remote viewing, and then multidimensionally through the pineal. And when I crank you up, as all of you know that I've cranked up, I take the 2 fields where they kind of touch anyway, and I actually blend them together. There's a soft way of blending those 2 fields together, whereas your scanner, which you see, so it's like very defined, very accurate, incredible. That's looks like incredible high definition TV. That right there, when you look like that, that's this dimension plus like half above, half below. Okay, pineal is multidimensional everywhere. Okay, within a few dimensions. When you blend the 2 of them together, then you get more dimensional depth in your scanner, and you get more acuity in your pineal. So, I had part of Lily come to me a couple of months ago or something, and I saw her working on both parts of my head, and I'm like, I said, "Why are you doing that?" She goes, "Well, you do it for everyone else." Kind of weird. It's exciting to wake up. It's even more exciting to be. It's fulfilling. A better way to put this: it's really fulfilling to be waking up and to become aware of stuff, and then you go through a phase where it's like, "Oh crap! It's not what I thought." And would you ever want to go back? No, I've not met one person that ever said, "Yes, I want to go back." And then once you realize what's going on, then your mind has a chance to understand and see a little further about how it is being fixed and how it's going to be okay. That gives you a little faith in the process of hope, in the feeling of hope, excuse me, in the process of getting to where we need to be. All right, folks, gotta go. Love you. Have a good one.